Claude Code has become one of the most used agentic AI tools that are used not only for coding, but for different things as well. Personally, I use it a lot for marketing as well as for other growth related things, such as go-to-market as well as sales. But I've also had the chance to play around with it in terms of design and actually developing software that's fully functional, even though I don't know how to write a single line of code. And it being a new tool means that there's not really a standard way of using it. There's people who use it in a very inefficient way, which means they're probably wasting a lot of tokens and wasting the usage much faster than other people who know about third-party open source tools that allows you to get the most out of every single session. In this video, I want to show you 6 different open source repos that are going to help you get the most out of Claude Code in different verticals. If we haven't met yet, my name is Josue and I've been working in AI and automation for the past year and a half. Started off doing more automation stuff using tools like N8N, but earlier this year when I started using Claude Code, everything changed. And so now my goal is to learn as much as I can so that I can share with you guys and apply it on my day-to-day tasks for real-world use cases. And so these 6 tools are 6 different tools that I have tried myself and that I've seen other people tried and that have actually gone viral online. So if you're in the AI space and you're deeply into Claude Code, chances are that you have already heard about some of these, but maybe haven't tried it yet. So today we're going to quickly go over each one of them and tell you why you might want to use them. So these are the 6 tools that we're going to be going over, and they're GitHub repos, which means that they're open source and that anyone can access completely for free. The first one is going to be Caveman, which is basically a tool that's going to allow us to save tokens. We're going to look into Open Design, which is very similar to Claude Design, which is a tool that dropped just a few weeks ago, and people were claiming that it actually killed Figma, but actually it used a lot of tokens to where you weren't able to do a lot in a single session and you were constantly hitting rate limits. So we're going to look at this open source version of it. We're also going to look at the Designlane, which is going to be useful for these design sessions where you're creating front-end components. We're going to look over Watch, which is something that I actually use for my own content creation and helps us create videos and get the most important things about them without having to actually watch the video. Then we're going to look at Codeburn, which is a tool that allows us to see where you're using most of your tokens on to make sure that you're using the tool in a very efficient way. And last but not least, we're going to be looking at the N8N MCP. Everyone's saying that N8N is dead. I personally used to use N8N a lot. I don't really use it anymore. But when I have to build a prototype and I need a backend really quickly, this comes in pretty handy because now it can build workflows for you just from natural language. So let's jump in. So first, we're going to be looking at Caveman, which is a way to reduce the amount of output tokens that you get from Claude Code whenever you send a request, whenever you ask them for a task. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm working on something that's not that complex, sometimes the output that I get from Claude is very long and I don't have time to read it. And when I read it, I realize that a lot of this is just fluff. It's just a bunch of filler words. So Caveman is an open source tool that's going to allow you to reduce the amount of output tokens that you get without losing the context. Right here, I'm inside of the repo and let's read a little bit about what this tool is. It's a Claude Code skill or plugin that makes agent talk like a caveman. And what this means is that it cuts 75% of outputs token by keeping full technical accuracy, meaning that the brain is still big, but the mouth is small. And here we can see some examples. This is an output that you would usually get from Claude Code, explaining something that it just did. While if you use Caveman, this is what you would get. Something a little bit more technical. If you're technical, there's different modes that you can set Caveman into depending on how much output you actually want. But we can see that the cut is pretty big from 69 tokens to 19 tokens. So token saves are 75%, technical accuracy still at 100%. Less tokens also means that you're going to receive the response much faster. So the speed increased by 3 times. The way to install it is that you can paste these commands into the project in the terminal that you're working on, or you can simply just grab the link, give it to Claude Code and say to enable Caveman mode on. And here are some of the commands that you get inside of there. First one is compressing every single reply. Then you have some commit ones to commit messages, other ones to review code, also to get statistics, etc., etc. And like I said, there's different levels. So there's level light, full, ultra, and Wenyan, which is basically Chinese. Depending on the kind of project that you're working, you might want to play around with these different modes and see what makes the most sense to you. If you're, like I said, if you're working on something super technical and you're someone who's technical and understands code, you don't need to hear all the fluff or like Claude Code explaining a small little change on your code base. Well, you just need to see the line of code. That's what Caveman is for. It's going to make it much, much faster, and it's also going to save your usage. So in a nutshell, it works in 30 plus agents, including Claude Code and Codex, 4 models, light, full, ultra, and Wenyan, and tracks lifetime savings, how many dollars you've saved while using this plugin. The second one we're going to look at is going to be Open Design. So looking at the repo, it says it's a local first open source alternative to Anthropic's Claude Design. This includes 19 skills, 71 brand grade design systems, which can generate web desktop, mobile prototypes, slides, images, and videos. It also has hyperframes, which allows you to create videos inside of it. And so why does this exist and why would you want to use it? You can read through this, but in my personal opinion, this is so that you can use something like Claude Design for longer than what your usage allows you to. So if you haven't used Claude Design before, basically you can create front-end components from front-end slides to the front-end components of like an app. And for this, you can have design systems, which basically includes a whole system of a specific branding. For example, let's say the branding assets of your own company as your logo, the colors that you use, the fonts that you use, all of that can be stored inside of Claude Design as a design system. And then you can create slide decks, you can use templates, you can use start from a prototype, which is just basically prompting the tool to create something. In this case, I'm showing you an example in which I have created a simple landing page for a law firm AI startup. This was all created just based on prompting, no Claude Code. I get to directly see what's being built without having to go back and forth editing HTML. And like I said, the biggest limitation on this is going to be the usage. As you see, I'm here in my settings for my Claude subscription. I'm on the max plan, so I have my own Claude Design section in which it ran out 0% use because I haven't used it, but this would go up pretty quickly every single session. So that's why something like Open Design comes in very handy if you want to save up all those tokens and just use your regular usage. Here's a quick demo of how it works. If you see the interface, it is exactly the same Claude Designs. If you compare them, this is what Open Design looks like. And let's go back here. This is what Claude Design looks like. So very similar. They literally copied everything. You have all the capabilities. You can build slides. You can even build front-end components for apps. So if you're someone who works in design, I completely encourage you to check this out, as it might be worth if you don't want to use all your usage through Claude Design. The third one we're going to be looking at is going to be Designlane. This is very useful if you want to use another website as reference. Before, what I used to do is if I'm building a landing page, I would go to a landing page that I think looked kind of cool and I want to use it as reference. I would usually take screenshots of it and just send that to Claude Design. But now we have Designlane, which is an open source tool that allows you to extract different design components from an existing website so that you can use that as reference instead of just plain screenshots. So right here, I have this website, which I really like. I like the layout. I like the different animations as I'm scrolling down. And I also like the colors in it. So what if I wanted to use this as reference? So now inside of Claude Code, I could simply say, I want you to get the front-end stuff and components of this website, which I really like, using the following GitHub repo, and give me a summary of how it's built. And then I'm simply going to grab the URL for this GitHub repo. And I'm going to also grab the link for the website. And I'm going to send it to it. So while that's cooking, let's see what we actually get. We should be getting every color and font exported into formats every popular tool reads. And we can also get prompts for AI tools that paste directly into Lovable, Cursor, or even just Claude Code itself. So now I started getting the output from this run. And we're going to see that we get the stack that this website actually used. So WordPress, Elementor, what it used for the carousels, for the icons. We get the color systems, what specific gradients they're using, different headline levels, etc. So you can get all of this information and use it as reference when you start building your own website. The fourth open source tool we're going to look at is going to be Claude Video. This is actually something that I've been using for a long time, not necessarily through this repo, but more on an independent way. So this is basically a repo that allows you to give Claude the ability to watch any video. It can download, extract, and transcribe, and then hand all of that information to Claude just by using the command /watch. And so I've been using a tool called YTDLP, which is actually the one that uses this one in the backend when you install it. But the reality is that sometimes some videos don't have transcripts. And so in that case, YTDLP doesn't work, which is why you might have a Whisper API key, which you can give to this tool so that it can extract the video even if the captions are not available. This is very useful for when you want to ideate for ideas for your own content, or if you're wondering if a video that's very long is even worth watching. There's really no limit on what you can use this for, but I just thought it was cool if I share it with you guys. The fifth one is going to be Codeburn. Codeburn is a tool that allows you to see where you're using your tokens the most in a specific project to make sure that you're not wasting anything in things like MCPs, which take up a lot of context even though you're not directly using them. Or maybe if you have too many skills, that is bloating up your context. This is going to be a tool that you're going to be able to run to break down spending by task, type, model, tool, project, and provider. It's nice because you get your own dashboard. You can even have a little widget if you're on Mac to compare and optimize the way that you're using different models inside Claude Code, or if you're using something open source like Open Code and maybe using some of the Chinese models like Kimi through OpenRouter, then it's a little bit harder to keep track of where you're using your tokens. and you might want to be a little bit more cautious since you're paying for an API rather than usage like you would on a Claude Code subscription. So if that's your case, this might be worth checking out. Or even if you're already hitting your limits very quick and you don't want to upgrade to the next one because you think you might be able to optimize it, then this is for you. And the third one is going to be the N8N MCP. We all know N8N. N8N is a tool where you can create workflows. And it's been having this MCP for a while now, which if you pair it with the skills repo and you give both to Claude Code, then it can build workflows for you, which might be able to power up the backend for MVPs and prototype without having to actually code the backend. And so here's a quick example of a workflow that I was able to build just using Claude Code and MCP. And it's basically a trigger that runs every single morning. It grabs information from RSS feeds about AI, and then it gives me a daily newsletter on AI, on the latest AI news, so that I stay on top of this topic. So I look a little bit complex, and if I were to do this by hand, it would probably take me 1 to 2 hours. While doing it through Claude Code, it probably took me like 5 minutes. So that covers all of the 6 tools. If you want to learn more about each of these, I'm going to be putting a guide together on how to use all of them inside of my school community, which is free and you can access with the link down below. And if you would like me to dive deep into one of these specifically, please leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to read it and create a video for you on that specific tool. These tools are coming out every single day, so I'm most likely going to make another video about other tools that I found useful that I think might also be useful for you so that you make your vibe coding more efficient. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.